Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another Brian Show Report. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of the Brian Show Reports. Hope everybody had a good day on today, on this lovely Tuesday evening. We're going to be continuing in the book of Oahspe, Book of Knowledge, Chapter 3. Book of Knowledge. Make sure my audio is good. Create a gang coming in the building. Yeah, create a gang coming in the building. Peace, peace. We finishing off with or picking back up with a book of knowledge. The Oahspe. Book of knowledge be hitting hard, y'all. Let's go on, pull it on up and get right to it. Let me see. There we go. Just to recap from what we left off last time, I believe this book starts off with the book of Tay, or mentions Tay first. There we go. Now, just to give you, if this is your first time coming in, or you might have forgot, Tay is having a conversation with the true God, the creator, Cosmon era. And that's one thing that's dope about this book. It deals with the consciousness heavily. So Tay being consciousness as a whole, having a conversation. So verse 1. Tay said, "How shall I come to you, O Jehovah? I have nothing more to stand upon." My self-conceit has been like a mountain before my vision. I have nothing to boast over the ancients. The things I gloried in, the inventions, sciences, and discoveries of my time, I did not view from your standpoint. I exulted in myself, saying, I have not done great things. But with all my inventions and discoveries, I had not done a hand's turn to better the poor and learned. What then is the measure of the good I have done compared to what the ancients did? So is mankind as a collective even questioning himself, looking within? Truly, you have turned my eyes inward and made me ashamed. Oh, that's my where I'm at. The sciences I boasted of, you have nailed down to the earth, and I perceived my spirit was burrowing into corporal things only. And as to your gods, saviors, and idols of all kinds, in cursing them, I was cursing you. In my conceit, I was demanding a light from you, and at that same time, plunging my head into darkness. Yet I come to you, O Jehovah, you alone are my theme. You are my love and my glory. But I will not say, give me light. Yours is the wisdom and the power to bestow whatever it is for my own good. When I called for light, it was for myself and was void before you. Now, how many, and everybody can raise their hands on that. Once upon a time, even if not now, as we learn to do better, we do better. You don't always necessarily pray only for monetary or material gain or just things that's concerning self. You dig? When I called for the light, it was for myself. It was void before you. I was raised up. I had raised up my voice against prayer, lest I appear as a beggar in your presence. What more then is any man but a living prayer? That's wild right there. But a living prayer. So your life is a prayer within itself. One desires riches, another power, yet another wisdom, or love, food, or rest. So from this time forward, I will pray for nothing, but accept whatever you bestow. Yet how can I restrain myself? Do I not desire to know your heavens and the firmament, and to find a way by which I can come to the spirits of the wise ones of the past? Can I restrain my desire to know all that has been on the earth, to find the people who once lived in the buried cities, put myself in rapport with them in spirit, and hear them tell your earthly exploits of thousands of years ago? That's one of the many things that's dope about Oahspe. How far it goes back for being such a modern book. And we got the chop poppers out there. Ain't even ready. Book is deep. Put myself in rapport with them in spirit to hear them tell their earthly exploits of thousands of years ago. Then Jehovah answered through his daughter S. And if you haven't, this is your first time tuning in, S is the spirit. Corpor is the male, and S is the spirit or the spirit world. So the spirit world and the collective consciousness of mankind are conversating at this moment. S said, hear me, O Tay, and gain from my accumulated wisdom. As the purpose of prayer through the ages not been to mold man's thoughts and spirits upward, to inspire his soul to all good things? Because you yearn for the wise of ancient times. Is this not your soul recognizing my labor? Have the wise and good of all ages not learned the lessons of my testimony? As living examples of quickened prayer, do the angels of Jehovah not induce man to inspire upward? I tell you, Ote, it is through model and emulation that a man is raised up. And man finds the way to the living ancients through them, model and emulation. By this desire, quicken into prayer. Tay said, then I will pray to find the way to the ancients. Is this not well? Spirit said, or S said, why seek that which is limited? Is it not wiser to go directly to the fountain and source of all? Saying, it's cool to get the knowledge from the ancients, but just don't stay there. Go to the source that kicked all this knowledge. That's what the journey is. Jaja, being ever present in all place and time, can surely provide the matchless wisdom. And Tay cried out, oh Jaja, how long before I grow beyond my short-sightedness? I sought wisdom in corporate, and you sent your sons and daughters, admonishing me that everlasting truth could not be found there. Then I turned to spirit to find everlasting truth. For had I not looked up to your high-raised angels, thinking from them I shall learn wisdom. And yet again I am humbled and made to comprehend the error of my way. Be like old church deacon. My. Mm-hmm. Now I have searched out corporate and S. I searched out both of them joints. The earth and spirit did not find, but all point to you, Jaja. Almighty, matchless. From now on, I shall seek everlasting truth in corporate, nor in S, but in you only, my eternal Father. Have you not given me a mind, a psyche, as good as any man or angel? Why then should I listen anymore to angels or men? True God. Remember? Difference between creator, true God, Lord God, and Lord. But this is true God speaking to Tay. Before man was mature, he was commanded thus and so, but now, O man, you are cast upon your own judgment. I shall no longer restrain you from your freedom. Man said, what is my lot, O Father, that I look out to you, but do not see you? I turn within, but do not hear you. Now you see the utterances, it keeps pounding on the thought within. Is this my fate then, to cast about forever in the dark, not knowing it matter? Then Jaja answered through his daughter Hawk, one of the goddesses. Hawk said, hear me, O man, and draw comfort from my words. You said you would pray for nothing, and yet before your breath was out, your soul yearned for the wise of old. He's still looking back in his soul, yearning. And they, in turn, pointed you to the all light. And so you search for his light, but you see only dimly. And in this, you may perceive that prayer is key, a tool. A tool in the corporate world. Consider, O Tay, what more is prayer than desire expressed, right? And has Jehovah not said, he who desires of corporate shall receive from corporate, and he who desires of S spirit shall receive from S. For which reason, then, unless you set your soul upon something, you shall not soon attain it. And unless you express the desires of your soul through prayer, they remain elusive. You ain't coming up with nothing. For prayer sharpens the vague into crystallization. And what's so powerful about this verse here, crystallization, the science of it, you got to look at it as if it was a gas. Your prayers are gas. And the intent of your prayers can manifest, be tangible. It's like going from vapor to ice. Something you can touch, so to speak. Do the prayers of the expected, and this is how powerful this is. Do the prayers of the expectant mother not mold the form of her unborn child? And I'm not a mother, but I'm a father. But I'm sure some of you mothers out there in the crowd can attest to your 9 months, your thoughts are forming that baby. You know, if you had that baby in your stomach for 9 months, and you was probably always especially black folk, you know what I'm saying? If those little cliches we had coming up, if you was angry all the time, the baby gonna come out angry. You feel me? Witness also the love and care of a mother for her children. Will she not protect them from harsh elements? Praying that she does her part well. Does she not pray for their well-being? It's in the mother's instinct. Not just in the mother's instinct, but it's in the father's instinct. Are not all men and women like children in the eyes of the Father? And when your children's desires are for self, do you cut them short or do you give them the slack of the line? Instead of popping little Johnny the first time, you might tell him 3, 4, 5 times before you raise your voice or something, or even say something. And these are the things that the Father has given us through all our bad decisions and choices we have made in our lives. Consider then, oh man, how few are constitutionally able to rise rapidly to the Godhead. Shall man say, oh Jaja, they are in darkness unless they come into the light? I cannot help them. Now, hey, some of us ex-church folk, Muslims, anybody that has something to deal with the Abrahamic faith once upon a time, you might have been holding your nose up once upon a time, folk, because of the doctrine that was in that particular institution. I can't even go on over there. That bunch of sinners over there. Yeah. Or shall man pray, oh Jaja, give me wisdom to provide the way for the resurrection? Not for my comfort, but for theirs, so that their journey of light may be filled with joy and happiness. and you compound words and commend yourself for the great love, for the great good you have done. But how do you know your own words and actions are of light and not darkness? Move one fraction from Jaja's light, and your words and actions create darkness. That's wild, y'all. One fraction. That make you think. That make you look inward like a big dog. Then Tay cried out in distress, "O Jaja, I have weighed the testimony of heaven, and I perceive its glories. But alas, my soul is stricken in sorrow and shame. In the same hour I boast of my greatness. Lo, the earth overflows with suffering and poverty and all manner of wickedness." Just look at it now. Check, sound check, sound check. Can y'all hear me? Let me get a one in the chat if you can hear me. Sound check, sound check. Okay, we back on. Jimmy, you can hear me? Okay, all right, all right. Man, look, we might have to we might have to jump ship from StreamYard. StreamYard be tripping. All right, bet. Here we go. All right, here we go, y'all. Why, oh John John, if you created such a paradise for those in high risen in heaven, have you allowed such darkness on this your footstool that man must grope about lost? Your heavens are bright, but the road of earth is dark. Alas, my words are of little effect to do good, even for those who would listen, and powerless to stem the tide. How then shall I find the ways so that you, O Jaja, may be glorified? Hawk said, "Do not rejoice in news while others grieve at the same report." Mm. Back in the The time when you was a Bible thumper, man, you used to get cut by that. Boy, these are switchblades and swords over here. Because it's dealing with this human psyche, the consciousness on a deeper level. Does a womb not require darkness? Therefore, Ote, be circumspect in decreeing darkness. Is it not good to judge by the light of your own experience and understanding? Who is there among men who can learn without experience? That's an oxymoron right there. And unless you set a course and follow it, how else can you learn of your own conceit, but through the error stemming from your own darkness? And as to speech, of which prayer is a part, is all utterance, not a subtle form of movement. Let me read that again. As to speech, of which prayer is a part, is all utterance, not a subtle form of movement. That's right, Mally. Shout out to Honor and Humility STL in the building. Shout out to Intuitive Goat, Dreadful Cosmod, Starship Goddess, Mahaya Yesharal, Elijah 7, Big Dog Fritz, Foxwell, Ema. For which reason has it not been said of old, ancient actions speak louder than words? And yet, what more is action than unuttered speech? Let me read that again. Actions speak louder than words, and yet, what more is action than unuttered speech? Are not both but the expression of that which lies within the soul? For which reason the wise learn first to move in ways that sustain and nurture the light. Everybody has a different way individually on nurturing the light. You just got to pick your path. You know, if you into meditation, which I hope hopefully y'all into, but if you're not, you're not. If you do, if you are, you are. But people got different ways of meditate. You don't always got to be in lotus pose. You can sit in your chair and meditate. Whatever it is to sustain and nurture the light. Certain folks don't pray the same. In order that you may find the light, learn to rejoice in it. In order that you may find the light and learn to rejoice in it. I, Hawk, Jovi's daughter, for if you had no darkness, you would not savor the light. You know, growing up as kids, you know, we talking to one of our parents or whatever, and you know, or shit, even as the teenager on the dog, man, why I gotta go through this? And sometimes you might forget. You might have known this 100 years, but sometimes when you get reminded of things. For if you had no darkness, you would not savor the light. Moreover, you shall not stop here, for you shall show others how to live in the light so that they too may rejoice in their lives. And you shall teach them that they in turn shall show others, and so on forever. It's an ongoing thing. Ongoing thing. Ongoing thing. If you don't know, I'll show you. If I don't know, you show me. Then that person show the next person. Then that person show the next person. In your prayers to Jah you shall find the light and the way. Then spoke Tay, O Jah, how I have looked upon prayer as a means to my own happiness and concerns. You remember you used to be on that flow on your knee. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, help me, Lord. But now I perceive that prayer is given to no man, to man to uplift others and to perfect himself in the fabric of your house. And yet this labor is not for himself, but for the resurrection and happiness of others. And in serving you, O Jah, by forgetting ourselves in you, you answer our prayers even before we know the way of our desires. Let me read that again. Creator showing out tonight. You answer our prayers even before we know the way of our desires. You have given many examples of this, the child in the womb being nourished by your hand, the nurse for the newborn, your Asaphs for the newly dead, and your great goddesses at harvest time. Wisely you have made darkness, O Jah, to protect and comfort man. Wisely you have made darkness. And you see how it's not so vague, like you remember the verse, I create good and I create evil. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't stop there. It's breaking it down why I make darkness. Wisely you have made darkness, O Jah, to protect and comfort man and to give him the arena within which he may grow stronger in you. You get if your consciousness is to where it needs to be at times when you're in dark places mentally or even corporally, you come out even greater. It's like the crystals and the stones that be in the ground. They in the ground, they in darkness, getting shaped and molded. And then when they get picked, what? They beautiful and shiny, right? And are we not all in darkness compared to your sons and daughters, angels high raised? And they compared to those who are older than the stars. And you have shown me, oh Jah, how one person's prayer may be conceit, while the same prayer said for the benefit of others may be light. But how shall I know, oh Jah, whether any prayer is wise or unwise? For I perceive that the best course is to devote myself wholly to doing good. When you don't know what to do. And that's what's dope too. When you're making conscious decisions and don't know where to go, just you go in the good direction. Don't let the ego say, yeah, I'm going to slip and do this and so on, so on, so on, so. And maybe some good to come out. Just do good. Spirit said, what then is doing good? Man said to provide the best of everything for my wife and for my sons and daughters and contribute to the poor. There's a lot of folks out here that does that. What that mean though? Spirit said, if you had created man, would you have given him hair or feathers and a cushion for his head? I'm trying to figure out what that man was cushioning for. Was he talking about a hat? A toupee? I don't know. A pillow? Consider then, if you give one thing too much to your wife, sons, and daughters, thus preventing the calling of their own talents, then the last your works will be bad instead of good. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's that? What you talking about there? You talking about spoiling jokers? Can you spoil your wife and your kids? that it interferes with the gift that the Creator's trying to give him? Huh? Well, I want to give him something that I didn't have when I was coming up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Can y'all hear me? Get a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let me get a one in the chat if you can hear me. All right, cool. Yeah, we definitely gonna be checking on. We might check on something else. Stream y'all be tripping. You'll be tripping with Mally too. Let me see. For I perceive that the best course is to devote myself wholly to doing good. We read that already. Contribute to the poor one fraction too much, and you injure instead of doing good. Especially in the low, boy. Some of them cats that be standing out on the block, a pair of shoes fresher than yours, asking for bus fare. Peace to the God, say La Shalom TV. What's up, big homie? Peace to the God, Cosmo Cal in the building. Give him one fraction too little, and you shall rebuke yourself. Man inquired, what then are good works? Shall I preach and pray for others? How will I know if my prayers and works are wise or foolish? You think cats that stand up in the pulpit every Sunday, or any teacher for that matter, don't question themselves? If they don't question themselves on this, I don't know what to tell you. Any man or woman of integrity is teaching, ask themselves this question. True God said, man, you shall judge yourself as to what you should do. Jah has provided a judge within every man's soul that sooner or later will become triumphant in power. Some of us may not be there yet, but keep on, and it will become triumphant. Find it, and you shall answer your own questions. Why? Because the Creator is within us also. And so in this way, Jaja's sons and daughters reasoned with Tay for a season. Then Tay spoke, saying, here, I am tired of reason and argument. In my youth, I vainly sought out extremes, hoping in turn to find everlasting truth in each one. So this is another thing too. You see amongst, I don't like to say the conscious community, but people that have some kind of spirituality about them, that read books on spiritual matters. If you was a Muslim for 15 years, became a Christian for 2 years, and came to Oahspe now, it don't even matter. Forget what folks is talking about, because that shows that you are growing, that you are progressing. And anybody that got anything to say about that, that's on them. This thing about progression. Here, I'm gonna read that one again. Hear me. I am tired of reason and argument. In my youth, I vainly sought out extremes, Yeah, you might have been rocking with the Hebrew thing for a minute. You might have been a Buddhist for a minute or whatever it is. It's about progression. In my youth, I vainly sought extremes, hoping in turn to find everlasting truth in each one. Yeah, there's truth in each one. Folks are misconstrued. You know, we be banging on the Bible a little bit. We bang on anything because we trying to extract the truth out of each and every one. But we just really banging on jokers that's chop popping. Talking about, yeah, that book ain't got nothing in it. Oh, it's a white man's book. And there was on. Europeans had their hands in all this. Does that make you any less spiritual? That's why it ain't about that. Now, behold, I turn inward and upward forever. Now I will covenant with you, Jaja. You only shall answer me and give me light. To you, Jaja, I commit myself to be yours forever, to serve you by doing nothing for my own selfish ends, but by doing the best I can for others all my days. My flesh body I will baptize / bathe every day in remembrance of you, for my body is yours, and I will keep it clean and pure before you. Neither will I suffer my spiritual body to be injured by wicked thoughts or passions of lust, nor shall I eat anything that comes from any creature, but only plants shall enter my body. I'm starting to believe a lot of these chop poppers, they just mad about that part. They mad about the plant-based diet. And the thing is, the most sacred books in their original form come from a plant-based diet. Even the Hindus, Ayurveda, you know what I'm saying? The Ayurvedic diet in its original form, plant-based. Nazarene, plant-based. Original Buddhist text, plant-based. Oahspe, plant-based. For my spirit is your gift to me also. Just that little bit right there. My spirit is your gift to me also. Twice every day my body shall be covenant to you. At times all earthly thoughts shall depart away from me. And whatever light you bestow on me shall be a guide and ruler over me for that day. Even if any of y'all that's familiar with yoga, boom, you already know. Early in the wee hours in the morning, 3, 4, and 5 in the morning, and then before you go to bed, especially in the morning. In the morning at sunrise, I will turn to you so that I can be spurred up to swiftness in doing good and in manifesting your light in my behavior. And at night before I sleep, I will recount my day's labor so that I can see where I was short in doing with all my wisdom and strength. You, Jaja, shall be my confessor and my advisor. Catholics had a nerve to talk about you had to come to the priest for your confessions. Come to you. So you had some preachers that used to say that too. You got to come and confess all your sins. And I had one preacher tell me one time, God only talks to the preacher. He don't talk to the congregation. He just specifically talks to the preacher. You, O Jaja, shall be my confessor and advisor. To you I will give praise without ceasing. My prayers and anthems to you shall be without number. This I perceive is the highest of all aspiration. For what better is it for God or the spirits of the dead to tell me a thing than mortals to tell me? Must not all wisdom that comes to a man necessarily be proved within man, in that man? Is it not better for that vision? Is it not better that my vision reaches up to the heavens to see it myself than to be told of it by the angels? No, I will not call the spirits of the higher heavens down to earth, for it is wiser for mortals to become pure as angels than for angels to become impure as mortals. Angels didn't already they didn't have to work already. They're already in that body, etheric body. Rather through you, O Jaja, will rise to see and comprehend. And from this time forward, I will neither preach nor hear preaching. I intend to labor and to do good, to be at peace within my own soul and with my neighbors, and to glorify you. And if your presence moves angels into concert with the good works of me and my fellows, I will weigh their words and actions as to whether they are wise and adapted to the founding your kingdom on earth. They actions, you know. It's not a judgment thing, but it is a judgment thing. You know, your actions, like it said previous scriptures, speak louder than words. You ain't gonna be out here reading Oahspe and robbing banks, robbing liquor stores. It's like oil and water, man. I will do no more, nor will I multiply words with anyone under the sun. Then spoke Jaja to Tay, saying, since you have put away words and become a worker in my behalf, I have drawn nearer to you in wisdom and power. Behold, then your reward. Sometimes we just need to be quiet. There was a famous guru in India. I forget his name, but one of the things he was most famous for because he was quiet. I know that sounds kind of crazy. You had a quiet guru, a quiet teacher, but there's power in silence. Oh, and this is what's dope too about Oahspe, man. Cosmon said. So this is a conversation. This is a conversation between the collective consciousness of mankind with the era, the age of the day. That's what's dope about Oahspe to me, man. The conversation between the consciousness of humanity and the age now. And Jehovah touched his tail on the forehead, and his spirit sense was opened. Now, see, this is gonna bust up some stuff, you know, especially with other texts. Not saying it can't be to the heart, but as you get more light, you see a lot of it is from the forehead. That's your antenna, your pineal, so to speak. Your pineal gland. And Jaja touches Tay on the forehead. And his spirit sense was opened. His spirit sense was opened. And Esfoma came and brought Tay a lava stone. Now, Esfoma from the Oahspe it's a principle. Kind of like the old saying. I can feel it. There's something I can just feel it in the air. You remember that one song from the 80s, Phil Collins? I can just feel it in the air. Something's around the corner. I can't put my finger on it, but something is in the air. It's in the wind. Signs of the times. Saying, lay this on your forehead. Why? Why you put the lava stone on the forehead? Tay laid the lava stone on his forehead, but he did not see it with his physical eyes. As Foreman said, what now? Tay said, I feel like a burning mountain. Lo, this stone has been hurled from a burning crater. Then Esfoma took a sealed record and gave it to Tay, saying, what about this, old man? Kind of remind you on it was one of the Matrix movies. It might have been part 3. Remember when Neo lost his eyes, when that hot wire went across his face and he had to put that scarf over his eyes? That's what this reminded me of. Couldn't use his natural eyes at the time. And also, was it Matthew 16? Matthew 6? Don't quote me on that, but I think Matthew 6. He talks about the eye being single. If your eyes become one. Can't tell me that wasn't talking about this. They said, I will lay it on my forehead where light comes. Where what? Where light comes. They mad about it. Where light comes. And when he had done this, he read the record without opening it. Jaja said, to all men, I gave 2 senses, corpor and S, physical and spirit. Physical senses, natural senses, your 5 senses. In the time of Cephas, I allotted man to mature for materiality, but now the time of Cosmon has come. What? For those who don't know what Cephas is, it's the equivalent to the established or enforced as the laws of the land or the religion of the land. I allotted to man to mature, materiality, but now the time of Cosmon has come, and man shall mature spiritually. Yeah, there you go, Mally. Matthew 6. Matter of fact, let me go on pull it on up. You got Christian apologists trying to apologize it away, trying to explain what. Nah. You might be able to come up with something if you just stand in the 66 books. Man, what does it say? The light of the body is the eye. If therefore an eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? You don't get no simpler than that. Pineal gland ain't just no new age category. This stuff been here a long time. This information been here a long time. Even with Kemet, Sumerian, it's been here a long time. So this ain't no new age stuff. It is well that you be believing towards men and angels, but it is better to develop yourself. You have desired to know the mysteries of my unseen worlds and the past histories of the earth. Because you know what the old saying, you don't know where you come unless you know you did a history. That's why it's good to read text, ancient text, but just don't start worshiping them joints. Behold, I give you a new sense, which I will fulfill your soul's desire. Yes, you shall read the books in the libraries of heaven. What? Man, I gotta. Hey. The books in the libraries of heaven. I marinate on that for a hot second. Now, libraries of heaven, you might as well say libraries of ether, right? And they in all the sacred books. You got some people that probably swear them down. Oh no, that's only in the Bible. Oh yeah, that's only in the Bible. Well, let's read it. We're gonna point it out. Let's go and see where these is at in the Bible. Let's see where we at. I just say we'll go to a couple. No, we ain't gonna go to all of them. But let's see. Luke 10. Notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven, written in ether. And there's more, but I don't put all two for now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna have to make some moves in a minute. Say Revelation 21, 27. And not being otherwise enter into it anything that defileth neither whatsoever the abomination maketh a lie. They which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Just to give an example, Etherian records. Etherian records. Boom. Let's show some Etherian records in the Quran. There's a lot of them, but I'll just do two of them in this one. Let's see. This is the Quran, Surah 36, verse 12 and 13. It is certainly We who resurrect the dead and write what they send forth, what they leave behind. Everything is listed by us in a perfect record. Give them an example, O prophet, of the residents of a town when the messengers came to them. Let me get another one. So, all this once upon a time even talked about a record of the ethers. So it's not nothing new. But I just want to show that all of them talk about it in one point or another. Let's see. It was 18. 18. 49, maybe. Give them a little slow day. All right, here we go. In the Quran, Surah 18, verses 49. And the record of deeds will be laid open, and you will see the wicked in fear of what is written in it. They will cry, woe to us, what kind of record is this that does not leave any sin, small or large, unlisted? They will find whatever they did present before them, and your Lord will never wrong anyone. Several passages, even in the Quran, about the records in the ether, libraries, books, and the libraries. And we already know about it. You know, even though there was some things that was added, because technically there isn't a word called akashic. There's akash, which means ether. But of course, down through the centuries, even up until 1800s, Blavatsky added that, gave it kind of a new term, akashic records. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's in the Vedas and the Upanishads. Have I not said of old, all things shall be revealed? Do not think that a loud speaking messenger will come for man without with blah, blah, blah. For man will not believe, but I quicken the righteous with my own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. Let me read that again. Have I not said of old, all things shall be revealed? Do not think that a loud speaking messenger will come, for man would not believe, but I quicken the righteous with my own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. The time of preaching is come to an end. Man shall know by his own knowledge and practice which he knows. That means you're gonna have to put in that work. You're gonna have to read that book that you had sitting on that coffee table. You're gonna have to pick it up and dig into it and practice which he knows. In this, my light is being manifested in this day. It so is. Cosmine said, take off the nuisance Suis, because it is spirit seeing and spirit hearing. Now you already know we got family members and friends. You don't even want to see that kind of stuff. But they quick to say, and the apostles gave gifts You know what I'm saying? These wasn't material gifts. They were spiritual gifts. The Creator gave those. So we're in a time to where these things have to be not only activated, but put in practice. And Tay comprehended that things in proximity leave an impression on each other, which impression can be read by the Suis sense. And this comes to vibration. When you can see with these talents, you can see the impression that it has left. It's kind of like, I hope this is a good analogy, but you know, like you sit on the couch and you get up and the impression be there for a couple minutes and then it raises up if you got some newer furniture, you know what I'm saying? But it'll raise up to the eye, it looks like ain't nobody ever sat there. You know what I'm saying? But it's still left an impression. And that's how the spirit world works. Tay said, I will now cultivate this talent that Jah has given me, for I perceive it aligns closely to the Essene worlds. Essene in Oahspe means the spirit worlds. Was it not for the cultivation of this sense that Samuel of old founded a college of prophecy? And did Zarathustra not do so also? Jah spoke through Cosmon. Whoever pursues righteousness by this talent shall rise to receive not only the past, but the future also. Now, remember that. By this talent shall rise to receive not only the past, but the future also. But whoever turns to these gifts down to the earth, to the concerns of the beast self, shall fall and not rise. When Denha is upon the earth, I give Suez to as many as have risen in spirit above the flesh. You think this is an easy deal here? You think this is a walk in the park? A lot of folks be talking like it's a walk in the park. And it takes more even just putting the flesh down, the meats. You might have to get away to get a recharge every now and then. Get the mind quiet. But many turn away from me using Suez for riches. And they descend to darkness. Suez being a talent above the earth shall not be used for earthly things. And in this respect, there are many dead who have not attained to Suez. Yeah, man. You know, when I be picking up my kids, I be passing by one of them little psychic houses. Be like, man, so be up. I want, you know, just out of curiosity, like them jokers probably be charging an arm and a leg for a reading. You can't use this for selfish gain. That never did sit right with me. But many turn away from using Suez for riches, and they descend to darkness. Suez being a talent above the earth shall not be used for earthly things. And in this respect, there are many that are dead that have not attained to this. We see folks getting up out of here every day. Every day. I got two friends of mine lost one of their children. They was grown, but still, that's your child. I got a friend who's got a son that's missing right now, presumed to be deceased. You know, still young, like 31. Folks is getting up out of here at an accelerating rate. Didn't get an opportunity to attain to these things, but we still living. So we got to keep pushing to either activate these gifts or to continue to cultivate these gifts. Then Tay went forth so that he could comprehend unseen things. And the light of Jah went with him, and angels also. And when he had come within a temple of worship where Christians were worshiping, Jah drew near. And the power and light of Jah's sons and daughters were upon him. And they said, "What do you see?" Tay said, "Two kinds of people are before me, Corporeans and Essenes, spirits. And they are alike, except one kind has no corporal body and the other has. And they are clothed alike. As one worships, so worships the other. And the light that is upon them all is the same, no greater, no less. They're equal in the same establishment. One just got some clothes of flesh on. Pretty sure they got different grades depending on, the interaction. But this is the point that the spirit is asking. And he does this 3 times. Now, when Tay departed and came to a temple where Buddhists were worshiping, Kazman had said, the age said, and what's dope about the Oahspe too, it says Kazman ain't just on this planet, but it's also in other worlds. The age. What do you see? And Tay answered, saying, even as in the other place, mortals and spirits are worshiping. The same light is upon both of them. Jah led Tay forth again, saying, since you have sewers, you shall attain also to the Ethereal sense. It went up another level, went from Super Saiyan 2 to 3. In time to come. Oh, he told him that's what you shall get. You keep cultivating your thing, it's going to keep getting better. After that, Tay departed and went into a saloon, went to the club, went to the bar where men were smoking and drinking, and Jah touched him and said, what do you see? Tay said, Corporeans and Essenes, and the same light is upon them both. And their habits are the same, and their vocations also. They are smoking and drinking, both mortals and spirits. Neither is one of them above the other. And we got to be real with ourselves, man. At the club, you in the club, dog. It's dark in there. Music's blasting. Drinks is pouring. And I ain't been to the club in a minute, but I can only imagine what it's like now. You know what I'm talking about? Peace to the God, Daryl Cosmine in the building. Just me, Sister Stephanie Randall. Yeah, because them with the youngsters now, it's all about killing ops and all that kind of stuff. And you got the liquor pouring, killing ops, and the lights is dark. That's a recipe for disaster. You can only imagine what kind of spirits is probably up in there. Jah caused Tay then to go to a place of pollution And when Tay had observed all, he said, "At last, that my eyes have witnessed this day, both peoples are the same. And into that place came the son of a rich man and the son of a king, and the spirits of darkness went and followed them. But the young man, excuse me, but the young man did not see them, but their flesh was moved upon, for they lived for the flesh's sake. They fell in sin. And when the young man departed out of the place of evil, lo, and behold, many of the spirits of pollutions went with them. They tagged along. They was like, wait up, cuz. Jaja said, "Tay, my son, you shall follow them and bear testimony to what happens." And Tay did as commanded. Presently, the prince and a rich man's son came to a neighbor's house where many young women were assembled with their mothers and fathers. And the spirits of pollution went and fondled the women. And the mothers urged their daughters also, being desirous of wedding them. And while Tay was yet in the house, a cloud of darkness came upon it, and he departed. But not many days elapsed before weeping and wailing were heard from that house because of the wickedness done in it. What was going on in that house? Tay said, "You are just, O Jaja. The gift of Suez has made me strong in righteousness and filled me with fear. I perceive how you have measured the lovers of earthly things and allotted to them the companions they have chosen. In this, it devolves on me to develop Suez in my sons and daughters, teaching the youth these things with wisdom. And once you master it, once you learn, or once you know that you got these gifts, pass it on to their kids, your kids. Show them how to use it correctly and not for earthly things. And in all children whom I can raise up, and in time to come, neither the good or evil that is in any man can escape their observation. Is this not the foundation of prophecy?" I'm gonna read this one verse and I gotta jet out. Cosman said, "By the light of Jehovah that dwells in me, I declare to you, O Tay, be wise not only in Suez, but in your corporal judgment also. You have perceived that all things leave an impression on all things in our proximity. To read these is Suez." Let me read that part again. You have perceived that all things leave an impression on all things in their proximity. To read these is Suez. All right. We'll pick up next time when we left off here, verse 83. I got to make some moves. Make some moves. Hopping on through on today. You know, big shout out to Honor and Humility STL. Go subscribe, like, share if you haven't. Go like, share, and subscribe to Cosmon Cal TV. If you haven't, say La Shalom TV. Ahuba's Lifestyle. You know what I'm talking about? The Bronze Yoke Reports. Go like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe also to the Creative Gang TV. Collaboration of all of us. like Voltron. You know what I'm talking about? But until next time.